Welcome to Daily Plunge. We are in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 23, verses 13 through 25. After Herod has sent Jesus back to Pilate, Pilate summons the high priests and the Pharisees and the elders, and a whole crowd is there, right? And he says, you brought this man. You accused him of inciting rebellion, and I just don't see it. But the truth is, Jesus is inciting rebellion against this world's corrupt system. He is. But it's not on the terms that Pilate or this world understands. And so he says, I find no basis for your charges, and neither did Herod. And then part of the thing is he brings him out into their presence. He parades the parody of a king who is beat up and then clothed in purple. He's done nothing deserving death. And Pilate declares him innocent, right? What crime has he done? Therefore, I will punish him and release him. Now, what's interesting is he's done nothing to deserve death, but I have. As a sinner, I have done much to deserve death, but Jesus is going in my stead, right? He is innocent. And in fact, the crowd shouts, away with this man, give us Barabbas. We want that murdering insurrectionist. We want that rabble-rouser. And they demand the release of this murderer. And then a third time, Pilate asks them, what do you want me to do with this guy? And he's asking the crowd, the mob, to judge. And they insist that he crucify him. And again, he says, I found in him no grounds, no basis for the death penalty. So therefore, I'll just have him punished and I'll release him to you. This is the second time he says this. And then in the background in verse 23 is the screaming and the yelling for him to be crucified. So Pilate finally acquiesces to their demand. Why? What crime has he committed? None. He's been found innocent. And he was innocent no matter what Pilate said anyway. On what grounds does he deserve death? None. But he is bearing my sin and yours, and that is the grounds on which he deserves death. Not mine, not his, but mine, right? And so he releases the man who deserves to be in prison, and he sends Jesus to be crucified. In fact, it says that he surrenders Jesus to their will. And what's funny is that Jesus has already surrendered himself, but not to the will of the mob and not to the will of Satan, but to the will of God. That was already done long before, and it was affirmed once again in the Garden of Gethsemane that Jesus surrendered himself to the will of the Father. And as Jesus surrenders to the Father, do we surrender to the mob and to the world? Do we surrender our will to them, or do we surrender to God and his will? Well, hey, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.